Hey, Cynthia.
Hey, Barb. How you doing?
Really good.
Good.
Here we are on the trolley. Yeah. We're in Chicago, and we're going on a local yarn shop crawl.
Yeah, Windy City Yarn Crawl.
Yeah.
So we're going to see some really exciting stores.
Right.
Okay.
So stay tuned, you guys. First stop is Nina's, and we're going to stop there and look around, and
buy stuff.
Yeah, we'll get back to you and show you what it's like.
Good.
Okay, Cynthia, we are here at Nina's. And we've got Hillary. Hi, Hillary.
Hi.
How are you?
I am having so much fun. Excellent.
Yeah.
Yes.
So do you do this all the time? Do you have people coming to the shop? And
Oh, absolutely. Not maybe this many at once, usually, but yeah, quite a bit.
So I understand that this is fairly new for you. You've been in the ownership of the yarn shop for about 6 months?
That's correct.
Yeah. How's it going?
So far, so good. Having a blast. I love the community that we have here. It's a lot of hard work.
Yeah.
It's been a long 6 months, but it's completely worth it.
Yeah. It's a lot of fun, though, isn't it? When you get to see, help people with projects and see them come in the door with new ideas, and you get to shop for yarn.
It's the best job in the world.
How fun is that?
It's the best.
So tell us a little bit about, or shop projects. In our store, there's kind of like that one project that everybody wants to make. Have you got anything like that here?
Yeah, the latest sort of obsession is that concentric yarn, which is it's a 4-ply gradient yarn where each strand changes colors at a different time, and you knit them all together. And I designed a really basic pattern for that, and everyone just goes nuts over those.
You're kidding, because we have that in our shop too, but I haven't even put it out yet because I'm not sure what to make with it.
Well, if you want our concentric pattern, I'm happy to give it to you. They're doing a knit along coming up. It's so fun to watch it change. You just need the simplest backdrop. It's simple pattern, and you just watch it go and change. And I think I'm obsessed with gradients, and I love that one.
Well, you just have the most beautiful shop. We've been taking some footage, and this shop is just gorgeous.
Thank you.
I have to say, I just love the way that your yarn's displayed in that those shelving.
Thank you. Well, I was lucky to inherit most of that. So,
yes. Great, yeah. And do you have any sort of online store?
We don't. We're working to get there. We're actually in the middle of rebranding right now. So if you look at our website, it's very different than the logo, like our card, everything else we put out. We're kind of in the middle of the process. Mm-hmm. So, yeah, I'm getting there as quickly as I can, I promise.
Mm-hmm. So people can find you here in Chicago. Are you open 7 days a week?
We're open 6 days a week, closed on Tuesday.
Thank you so much for spending time with us. We really appreciate it.
Of course. Thank you so much. This is so fun.
Okay.
Thanks for coming.
Hey, Cynthia. Okay, here's shop number 2. This is Sarah.
Hi.
Hi, Sarah. Tell me the name of your shop.
So this is Firefly Fiber Art Studio. I am one of the co-owners here at Firefly.
Excellent. And you're located in Chicago.
In Wicker Park.
In Wicker Park. Okay. Sarah, you kind of got a special theme about your store, right? Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah, we're an all-natural and sustainable shop. So all of the companies that we work for are either small or they're local. They all have sustainable practices. Most of our wool is from the U.S. or from the Americas. Mm-hmm. It's milled here in the U.S. or in the Americas. Mm-hmm. And we're trying to keep things a little bit more local and more environmentally friendly.
Mm-hmm. Well, being a yarn shop in Canada, I'm really excited to hear that you're kind of partnering with another Canadian. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Oh, I mean, we love Richard. He's amazing.
We love Richard too. We call him the king of speckle.
Oh, he is. What I love about his work is he's able to layer so many colors together, and they don't blend in together. They're still very sharp and clean, and it's wonderful. So he's. When we started the shop, he was already on our list. Mm-hmm. When we met him, he was amazing, and he's wonderful to work with. So we're very excited to have him on our team.
Well, and he has incredible wool, too. His merino is second to none. We've carried Pepino in our store for probably 10 years. It's Wonderful. So now he's creating something special for you, right? Can you tell us about that?
Yeah, so we just started a new yarn line. It's called Fandom Fibers, and it basically takes all your favorite fandoms, whether it's Game of Thrones or the Marvel Universe, Harry Potter, and he's dyeing special colorways just for our shop.
How exciting is that?
We're really excited.
Yeah, and you're going to sell these here in your store?
Yes, we're going to debut them at C2E2, which is Chicago's Comic-Con.
Okay.
So once we debut them there, then we're going to have them in shop, and we're actually going to start a a quarterly service where we can ship out the yarn. Yeah, because so many people love fandoms, and we just really want people to enjoy the yarn that they use.
That's fantastic. So you obviously have an online business too. People can shop 24 hours a day kind of thing from the comfort of their own armchair at home.
We don't have anything yet. We're working on it.
Okay.
So that they can. Yeah. We've only been open for a year. So now that we're getting into the swing of having our brick and mortar store, we definitely want to open up our online shop.
Fantastic. Okay, well, thank you so much for sharing that information with us. So look for these guys online soon, and if you're in Chicago or in the area, you have to stop in and check out this shop. It's amazing. We'll post some photos up of it. All right.
Whenever you're ready.
Oh, okay. Hi, Cynthia. Okay, here we are. We're at
Sister Art Studio.
Sister Art Studio. And this is Donna. Hi, Donna.
Hi, okay, how are you?
Good.
Awesome.
Thank you so much for having us to your
my
shop.
pleasure,
It's
absolutely.
beautiful. And you're in such a beautiful part of Chicago, too, right? You're very lucky.
Lincoln Park is a really wonderful historic area.
Yes, yeah. So tell us a little bit about your shop. How long have you been in
I
business?
have been in business for 13 years.
Wow.
In this same location, I'm very, very passionate about teaching the fiber arts to all ages. So I started by teaching my daughter to knit, to weave actually, when she was about 5 or 6 years old, and then went on to knitting and crochet, and then all the other fiber arts, yarn spinning, yarn dyeing, needle felting, wet felting. So we specialize in teaching all the fiber arts to all ages. So just stepping it up all the way through adult.
So a real focus on learning.
Yes.
I understand that there's a really interesting story behind your name.
Well, I grew up with 4 brothers and no sisters, and my whole life I longed to have a
sister.
woman. I'm very close to my mother, but there's always something special about having a sister or someone that you can really connect with.
Yes.
And so in opening this shop, I refer to my sister, my instructors as my sisters, and they're the Sisters of Sister Arts. And there are a couple of them here. Jamie is here and Valerie's here. And they're just wonderful people who have wonderful personalities and tremendous amount of patience, and they're really, really fantastic instructors.
Oh, that's fabulous. We're sisters too, Cynthia and I, and so it is very nice. But you don't have to be biological to have a sister.
No,
do
you do not. We just I've adopted all of them,
Yeah.
actually.
We've been to 3 yarn shops now. Tell us kind of what sets your shop apart from others, because everyone has a different feel and a different.
I would have to say one issue is the fact that I teach younger students. I teach children as well as adults. My background is interior architecture, so I'm educated as an interior designer. I worked in the corporate world for 21 years, and so I come from a design perspective that is very graphic.
I was going to say that looks very architectural.
Very architectural. I would say a play on color, using color in very attractive ways, and using pattern in very attractive ways. So,
What are you wearing?
I am wearing a piece that I designed. It's called the Capelet Deja Vu.
Capelet?
Capelet Deja Vu.
Deja Vu. Is it available on Ravelry?
It's available on Ravelry, and this is a piece I designed for our yarn crawl this last summer. And it's created with a fiber called Nuna.
Oh, Mirasol?
Yes. And it's a very simple pattern. I literally wrote out every single row, and it's basically very simple color work with a lot of slip stitches, so it does go pretty quickly. and it's just a lot of fun to knit.
And you guys, this feels amazing. We carry Mirasol Nuna in our shop too, and there's such a great story behind that yarn too. It supports lots of little kids in having and building a school.
Absolutely. Yes.
Thank you so much for sharing your story with us.
Yes, my pleasure.
Thanks again.
Okay, good.
Hey, Cynthia. Hey. Okay, here we are at Knit One. Can you see my button?
I can.
Zoom in close on that one.
Yep.
This is an amazing store, and I'm here with Lynn. Are you the shop owner, Lynn? You are. How long have you been at this location?
We've been in this location for 2 years and 2 months.
Wow. This is such a neat part of Chicago, too.
It is. It's a great neighborhood. And we have on the street, we call it the Makerhood.
Right.
Because it's me and a fabric store down the street.
Okay.
A button store 2 doors down, and a women's cooperative 2 doors down and 3 doors down.
Women's cooperative, and so they do
clothing, and they have some housewares and jewelry, but mostly clothing.
How great that must be to have a whole bunch of makers right in your neighborhood.
And a calligrapher and book designer next door. Yeah.
That's amazing.
So we have lots going on. And there's actually a Chicago School of Shoemaking about 3 blocks away.
Shoemaking? Yeah. So you can get a pair of custom-made shoes while you're buying your yarn.
Yes, and sewing your clothes.
That's fantastic. So, we've been on a bit of a crawl tonight. We've been to 3 shops. Each one of them is different.
Yeah.
What makes your shop different?
I think it's partly this neighborhood that we're in, but we're all friends, obviously, all of the shops in Chicago, and we try and carry different things, and we appeal to different people. So we try and have things that other stores don't have, and we just have our sort of a unique flavor to the things that we do, and we carry a lot of unique yarns, and our neighborhood sort of makes us unique in our classes.
We were chatting with folks on the trolley on the way over here, and some of the words that they used to describe your store was bright and friendly and welcoming.
Oh, that's so nice to say. We try to have great customer service and be friendly. We have this great big table so that people always have a place to sit.
And they serve the best beer.
Do you like a beer?
No, that's okay. But
do you like it? This is Chicago beer. It's from 2 blocks away.
Oh my gosh. Cynthia's kind of a beer aficionado.
Oh, good. Excellent. Well, we'll have to see how we compare to Canadian beer.
All right. That sounds great.
So we carry Lorna's Laces and Mrs. Crosby and Brooklyn Tweed, I would say.
Okay.
We do a lot with Brooklyn Tweed.
We haven't seen Lorna's Laces
or
haven't? Mrs. Crosby yet this trip, at the other shops. So you're right. We've seen Brooklyn Tweed in a couple of places. But we always like to ask this question too. In our shop, there's that one project that everybody likes to knit. Do you have one of those? Is there like a favorite?
Maybe the one that I'm wearing. But I put, this is Abby's, and Abby's working the register tonight. This is Newsome /Weights, so it's a Bristol Ivy pattern. It's knit in Mrs. Crosby yarn. And
a raglan sleeve with a really pretty V detailing in the back. That is pretty.
Go bottom up, right, or top down. So this is bottom up, and I did one there, and Catherine's wearing hers also, and she did hers bottom up also. But mine, the one that I knit, is top down.
And can you tell me what that's called again?
Newsome, Newson, or Weights, Waits, and we have actually, if you want to buy it, there are kits over here, and we have all the Mrs. Crosby yarn. So it's 4, 5, or 6 skeins, depending on your size.
Fantastic. And do you have an online store too? Can people shop and buy kits from you?
They can call us. We're happy to do any online. We ship all over. We actually ship all over the world. So we're happy to ship.
So you'll do mail order.
You bet.
Just give you a call.
We have a few things online. Some of our exclusive things, like we have some of our buttons and the Cubs yarn that we have. Lorna's Laces dye for us. So we have Cubs yarn in 3 different colors and 2 different weights. And then we also have our Blackhawks yarn.
Fantastic.
Blackhawks, so, yeah.
Go Blackhawks.
We love our sports teams.
We do too. I think that's
know.
something we have in common with you.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's great. Thank you so
you're
much
welcome.
for
It's so
sharing
nice
this
to meet
information with us about your shop. And we'll let you go back to your customers. And
Thank you.
Thanks again.
Yeah, I'm so glad you're here.
Hi, Cynthia. Look where we are. We're at String Theory in Glen Ellyn, Chicago.
Outside of Chicago.
So is Glen Ellyn a suburb, Janet?
It's a suburb, a western suburb. We're right on the western train line.
On the western train line. So we're in Glen Ellyn, and we're here with Janet. Janet, help me pronounce your last name.
Avila.
And she's the owner of String Theory. Janet, we met how long ago?
Was that Yarn Market News probably 10 years ago?
I think so, at least, right?
Yeah.
And so we've just been kind of friends and watching each other and kind of
learning from each other.
Yeah, it's been a real journey, right?
Yes.
How long have you been in business now?
It'll be 14 years next month in April.
Right. And so we've been in business about 16. The first 2 I don't count because we never got any paychecks.
Yeah, that doesn't count.
That doesn't count. But yeah, it's been quite a journey and it's been a lot of fun.
Yes.
How about for you?
Yeah, I love owning a yarn store. There's always something new to learn and something new to do or try. Never a boring day.
Right. Before we get in depth with showing you all of the product that Janet has, because we're going to go around the store, I just want to give people a sense of your focus, because you do have a real specific kind of a focus with your business, right?
Yes.
Tell us about that.
Yeah, so I started String Theory in 2004, and the whole idea behind it was I had a certain budget for the store, and I wanted to spend it on people that were trying to make the world a better place. And so we have socially responsible, environmentally friendly, any sort of cause that I believe in, I feel like, oh, I can spend my money on that. And so it might be because it's beautiful, and that makes it in the store, or it might be because this is a mom who is trying to find a creative way to earn some money and raise her kids, and I'm all about supporting moms and women and small farms, and I just have a whole slew of causes. And so that I can bring those things into the store. We don't have any acrylic. There's a little bit of nylon in some of the sock yarns. But we're really focused on natural fibers. We can start with Plutalope, which is new for us this year. And I'm wearing my sweater, which I'm really excited about. This was really fun to knit with. It's not...
Now this is a different sort of Lopi. I remember the, Lopi Light and Lopi of the old times where, but this looks more felted and softer.
Yeah, it's not spun, and so it breaks really easily.
Oh, look at that.
But then you just fold it back on itself, and you can splice it, and you just go on.
Wow.
And it makes an incredibly durable and lightweight sweater.
Right, so it doesn't weigh, several kilos. No. Oh, look how light this is.
Yeah.
Very nice.
It keeps you really warm. So yeah, that's fun. On this wall, this is Manos, which we were just talking about.
Right.
This is their Milo, which is wool and linen, which is great. And Zula Vera linen. We're trying to get new stuff in for spring, even though it's pretty cold outside.
So linen just adds a little bit of lightness to the product that you're knitting, right?
A little bit of lightness and a lot of durability.
Very strong.
It's very strong, wears really well. So when you've got the linen and the
oh, that feels great.
And the silk or the linen and the wool, this actually, the linen and the wool, the Milo, knits up, it looks like silk, but there's no, it's got that sheen of silk, but there's no silk in it.
And you could just see this for a summer cardigan, couldn't you?
Yeah.
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 Beautiful.
Get my hands in some of the new stuff. We've got rosy green wool, which is from England or the UK. I think it's England, and completely organically certified wool. Yeah, and we've got some Fiber Company and some Malabrigo. 3 Irish girls dyed up. This is
of course you have to have that.
But they do beautiful dyeing for us.
Nice.
Really enjoy that. We've got wool stock, which has been really popular.
We have wool stock too. We love it. We've done a few sweaters and their hats and kits are fun.
Yes.
With all the striping.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Lots of color work. We've done a lot of Amano. This is a great
organization in Peru, and they are trying to build the alpaca business in Peru and bring back, bring education to the farmers and help them get more out of their alpacas and that whole industry. So, this is a cotton and wool blend that we have. I think we're the only people in the United States that have this. It's been really fun to use.
And this is directly from Peru, right?
Yes,
I think I saw this one.
This is directly from Peru, and it knits up. It's got the life that wool gives to a garment, but the softness of cotton. So when it knits up, it feels just like cotton. And this is a pattern called Maximize that Ann Weaver designed for us for this. Let's see, a little bit of
Oh, you carry
Passione.
Lang. We love Lang too. They've just had their, what is it, 40th anniversary or
something? Yes.
Yeah.
Really
Tell us a little bit about that, because there's a story behind this too, isn't there?
There is a story, because when you have these roly-poly balls that we say, they don't fit on the shelves very well, and they just kind of fall off. So I was like, well, we need something to be able to corral them. So my husband built this for me, and it's old doors with some container store shelves hidden in there, and then we took pipes and
From plumbing.
and just made this tree so that it holds whatever we have in stock on the roly-poly balls.
I love it. That looks great.
Because we don't have acrylics, we have a special sort of section here that is what we call like kid-friendly yarn. And so this is machine washable. It's 100% wool, but it's machine washable. And we've got blue sky cotton in here, and
So an organic cotton.
Yeah.
Yeah. Right.
From
This
Abundant
is
Earth Fibers. And
now Abundant Earth is from
Whidbey Island in Washington. And I don't know if you'd heard the story when they were going to Stitches West and they were robbed. So
their truck got stolen,
their
right?
truck got stolen, and so they were completely out of inventory. And lucky for us, they had sent their shipment to us before they went to Stitches West.
So at least you had some.
For a while, we have all the yarn that they produced, like the entire inventory, which is a great responsibility. But these are their tincture kits. And so there's a whole thing where you can get a dye pack and put some yarn in, and you put it in the jar, and you can get whatever color.
Are these cowls done?
Yeah, so this cowl, these two were done. We did 2 skeins of the Verdant Decay, one in Midnight and one in Pea Shoot, I think it is. Sugar Snap. So you can make with 2 skeins, you can make 2 cowls. You just reverse out the colors.
I love the pattern too.
Yeah, it's really fun. It's Camino de Paz from the Healthy Knitter, and I think that's available on Ravelry as well.
Yeah, there we go.
Yeah, and it's fun to do. And Ann Weaver did this one, and then she sent me her leftovers, and I did this one. But she did hers, if you look at it, she did her pattern. She turned the chart sideways. Right. So
how
hers is a little different.
Yep.
You know, mine goes up and down, and hers goes sideways. One of the flagship stores for Woolfolk. So I don't know if you know the story behind this, but this wool is all from Patagonian grasslands in Argentina, and they were being over-farmed, and so they were turning into desert, and a couple companies went down who had environmental interest, and they went down and they taught the farmers sustainable farming practices and then provided them with incentives to do that. So the grasslands are coming back. These sheep eat really well because they have really soft yarn. It has the micron count of cashmere, even though it's wool.
I really like your display too, Janet.
Oh, yes.
These
With the
giant
knitting needles?
Yeah, that's really nice. Did you have to get those custom made as well?
We did. We did. They're like curtain rods or something, and we shaved down one end and put the end on the other.
So you've got a carpenter in the family, don't you?
Yes. My husband's very handy and very willing. So if I come up with some strange idea, he thinks, okay, yeah, I can do that.
Go ahead.
So here, this is some of our U.S. Farmed yarn.
Oh.
So this is Shetland, but it's from Elemental Effects, and so it's all U.S.
Sheep
made and grazed in the U.S. and milled in the U.S. And
we've used that yarn a little bit when Cynthia and I have been on classes taking color work, and it's really a nice yarn, isn't it? It dyes up in so many different colors.
The sheen on it is beautiful. You get a lot of different colors, and it's also similar to the Lopi in that it's very lightweight and really durable.
Yeah.
So you can make mittens out of it and not worry that they're just going to be shredded after a season.
Really nice for color work.
Yeah.
I think Church Mouse makes their jolly wee elves out of
yes.
it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm sure all the little leftovers would be really fun to play with. And here we've got the Cormo, also by Elemental Effects. So this is Cormo fingering.
Oh, so Cormo is a breed of sheep.
Right, and we're starting to educate our customers on the differences between, you know, what's a Shetland versus what is, you know, different sheep breeds. What do they bring to?
We have a lot of BFL, for example, in our shop.
Yeah, and that's another one that's great. So, you know, what is Cormo? What is Shetland? What is Merino? And what attributes do they have? What's good for one? And
so tell us a little bit, what is kind of some of the attributes of Cormo?
Of Cormo, it's very springy, so it has a lot of life to it, a lot of elasticity, feels great in your hands, but it's not that super soft. Merino is very soft and very drapey, and the softer you get, the less durable it is. And so Cormo is not quite as soft, but it's smooth. It's not scratchy at all.
Very soft.
Yeah, has a really good just life to it as you're knitting with it. You feel
Have
the
you
life in it.
ever worked with Rambouillet?
Which is a nice kind of, because I think Rambouillet is a type of merino, so it's a cross of merino and something.
Yes.
And I really like that. That's a great combination.
Beautiful.
So yeah, this is kind of our sock selection, and you can see it's very popular because it's been dug through.
Yeah.
But we have Neighborhood Fiber Company, more Three Irish Girls. This is cool. This is Vesper sock, and it's stripes.
Oh,
but it doesn't really look like in the skein.
No.
I think that would just be a variegated.
Yeah.
So it's kind of fun to play with. And
I
then
see
knitted
wit.
We've done a lot with knitted wit. She's from Oregon, and just really explosive, amazing colors. And what I love about her things is that she does causes behind her yarns. And so she did, let me see which one. This is, well, this is another thing she's doing. This is Radioactive Rainbow, and she's got a yarn club. So every month she comes out with some woman that she thinks is important and that we should know about.
Okay.
And so this was January's, and it was Marie Curie, and so she named it Radioactive Rainbow, and this is a
oh, look at that.
shawl that we made out of it. All of it, you know, when you're in winter and everything's gray,
Yep.
you just really want to go for the color.
Do you find, you know, these months your customers are coming in looking for bright colors
Yes.
and for cotton?
Yes.
We're done with winter.
They come in and they're like, what do you have for spring? And I'm like, have you looked outside? It's not really spring yet, but everybody is craving that color. In the fall, people are really into grays and neutrals, and come spring, we're just dying for colors. So yeah, so knitted wit gives you a lot. And this one, for example, this color she did, and she's donating, it's called Reforestation, and it was in response to all the fires that happened in Oregon. Yeah, more of the woolfolk.
This one is far. This is the one that's really feels really soft, isn't it? Yeah.
And this is a pattern that we did, which is the
oh, look at the cute
Patagonian
buttons.
cowl. And every year we have a yarn crawl, and one year this was our focus, was Woolfolk Far, when we had just gotten it in. And so I designed this cowl, super simple, just take 2 colors. And for just the way the stripes are done, you get this really interesting texture, but it's
fun.
It's super easy. Yeah, and that's available on Ravelry too.
And I see you've got a little basket of pom-poms there.
Yes, pom-poms are all the rage.
Aren't they fun?
Put them on the top of anything, any hat. What do we have over here? We've got kits that Three Irish Girls made for us.
Oh, how
to do
cute.
fades. So you can do this is the pint-sized faded. You can do obviously a shawl out of it as well. And one of these kits, there's a lot of yarn here. So we did the smaller size, but it goes up to size 10, the pattern does.
Wow.
And you can do a size 10 kid's sweater out of just one kit.
Right.
So this is another one of our cause kind of yarns. This is June cashmere, and the cashmere comes from Kyrgyzstan. Exactly. We've got Peace Fleece. This is a yarn that we've had, I think, since I opened.
Oh.
And I love the story behind it, where it was during the Cold War, they had
Porter, Maine.
They went over to the founders went over to Russia during the Cold War and tried to get mohair from Russia so that they could blend it with the wool from the United States and
make it softer and warmer.
Make it softer and just to have a business together, because they thought we're less likely to blow each other up if we know each other and have worked together. And it's been very interesting to see that evolve, because there was a certain time in our history not too long ago, a couple years ago, when there were people, whole generations going, what was the Cold War? Why was this important? You know,
right.
And I found myself explaining, and even Peace Fleece decided that the Russian connection wasn't as important, and so they ended up getting a lot of the wool. They changed their focus to the Native American population. And trying to help them and their reservations and wool production. So they kind of shifted, and then now Russia's back in the news. So
there you have Blue Sky Techno too.
The Techno.
That was some really pretty fashions, sort of designs, right? Yes. They have a really pretty poncho.
And I made the hat there is by Spout Knits, and she's a designer in Michigan.
Oh, that feels nice.
Yes. And it's super lightweight. It's got the right drape. And then I made the mitten next to it. That's, I think that's the world's simplest mitten pattern, Tin Can Knits.
Yeah.
And,
yay, Tin Can.
I made it super dense because I wanted my mitten to be really warm, and I just love it because it's dense, but it's still flexible. It's not stiff in your hands.
Yeah, that's really nice.
And
oh, back here you have a classroom.
We have a classroom.
How are you finding magazines? Like, I notice you've got making. We're seeing a little bit of a comeback with magazines.
Yes.
You too?
It's very interesting with the making, the Pom Pom Quarterly, the magazines that are put together with incredible photography and fun new patterns. They just have a certain new look to them. And I think that's been a resurgence, because for a while it seemed like nobody was buying magazines or books.
Right.
Because they were suddenly able to get things on Ravelry. Everything was available on the internet. And I think the pendulum's swinging back a little bit, where people think having paper in their hands is a good thing again.
A nice thing.
Yes.
Do you have Bristol Ivy's book? Or
yes, we just got that in.
I just love the cover on that. Have you seen?
Yeah. Beautiful. And I think that there's so much available on the internet that I think people are looking again for a curated selection of things. They kind of are overwhelmed by the options, and I think we're finding that more people are buying kits, and I think more people are, buying a book or a magazine, because that's a smaller set of things to look through to decide what you're going to make next.
Yeah. So instead of being overwhelmed by volume, we want to have a smaller, tighter collection of something really special.
Right? Exactly. Exactly.
Oh, this has been great, Janet.
Well, thanks so much for coming.
Yes.
This is such a treat.
So now, can we buy you lunch?
Oh, sure. There's so many good places to eat around here.
Fantastic.